If your back looks flat from the side or just isn't developing that thick, dense look, today I'm going to show you 2 exercises you want to start focusing on, plus a technique at the end that's going to help you push past failure and get even more growth out of them. These are the same 2 movements I've used in my own training across multiple preps that helped me build one of the top natural backs on stage. And the reason I'm showing you these specifically is because they completely changed how I felt my back working and how it developed over time. So let's get right into it. The first exercise is a seated chest supported row. This is one of the most safest and effective movements for targeting your mid to lower traps, rhomboids, rear delts, and developing that dense look through your mid back. The reason this works so well comes down to stability and the arm path, which lines up really well with the fibers of your mid and lower traps, making it easier to actually train them effectively. Having your chest supported is a huge advantage because it allows you to handle heavier loads without worrying about stabilizing your core or lower back, so you can put more focus directly on your mid back. Now, when setting this up, you want to make sure your seat height isn't too high or too low. You want it at a position where you can comfortably drive your elbows back at about a 45-degree angle while your arms stay in a strong pulling position around 90 degrees. That's going to put you in the best position to actually target your mid back instead of turning it into more of an arm or lat movement. From there, start each rep by letting your arms fully extend out in front of you so your shoulder blades can move into a full stretch. Then initiate the movement by pulling your shoulders back first before your arms even bend. Once they're set, drive your elbows back past your body while keeping your chest glued to the pad. At the top, fully retract your shoulder blades and squeeze your mid back as hard as you can. Then slowly control the weight back forward, allowing your shoulder blades to fully protract again. Now, a few common mistakes I see here are pulling too much with your arms or going too heavy, especially if you can't fully retract at the top. If your first few reps don't allow you to get that full squeeze, the weight is too heavy. You also want to avoid rebounding the weight or using momentum just to get the rep up. A good rule of thumb is if you can't control both the stretch and the squeeze, the weight is too heavy. Another big mistake is cutting the range of motion short, either not fully stretching at the bottom or not fully squeezing at the top. To get the most out of any muscle group, you want to be able to move it through a full range of motion. If you start sacrificing that just to move more weight, you're leaving a lot of gains on the table, and that can be exactly why your back isn't developing that thick look you're going for. So to fix this, think about pushing your chest through the pad while driving your elbows back past your body. And to eliminate any momentum, pause briefly at both the stretch and the squeeze of each rep. That's how you know you're actually controlling and getting the most out of every rep. Now, if you don't have access to a chest supported row, a great alternative is a wide grip seated cable row. This is another great option because the wider grip makes it easier to drive your elbows back and shift more focus onto your mid back instead of your lats. The main difference here is that now you have to stabilize yourself since you don't have that chest pad supporting you. So stay tall through your chest and avoid letting the cable pull you forward. Still allow your shoulder blades to fully protract and retract so you're getting that full stretch and squeeze. And if you need to go a bit lighter here to maintain that control, that's completely fine. Start there and build the weight up over time. The second exercise is a chest supported T-bar row, and this is going to target more of your upper back, your upper traps, and rear delts, which are key for completing that overall thickness and giving your back that 3D look. The reason this works so well is because of the angle and the loading potential. You're pulling from a slightly lower to high path, bringing your elbows up and back, which naturally bring in more upper back, trap, and rear delt involvement. It also allows you to handle more load compared to stricter movements, and that combination is great for building density over time. Now, when performing this, set yourself up in a strong pulling position where your arms are around that 90-degree angle so your elbows can travel up and back naturally. At the bottom, allow your shoulder blades to move forward slightly so you can get a full stretch. Then as you start the rep, think about pulling your shoulder blades back first and then drive your elbows up and back to finish the movement. You also want to focus on keeping your chest pressed firmly into the pad and think about pushing into it as you row so you avoid it from completely lifting off. That's what keeps the tension on your upper back and prevents you from using momentum. A common mistake here is going too heavy, especially if your first few reps don't allow you to fully squeeze your shoulder blades together at the top. If you can't get that full contraction early in the set, the weight is too heavy. Another mistake is letting your arms or lower back take over. If you're bending your arms first and not moving your shoulders, it turns into an arm exercise. And if your chest is coming off the pad or your body is moving more than the weight, your lower back is taking over. In both cases, the targeted muscle isn't actually doing the work. You should feel your upper back doing the work, especially at the top when everything is fully squeezed together. Now, if you don't have access to a T-bar row, one of my favorite alternatives is a slightly bent over cable shrug. This works really well because it mimics a similar arm path, allowing you to move your shoulder blades up and back, which helps target your upper back traps and rear delts instead of just isolating the traps like a traditional shrug. The main difference here is that you'll need to brace your core more and stay stable since you don't have the chest pad supporting you. To make this really effective, let the cable pull your shoulders into a deep stretch at the bottom, and then as you come up, think about driving your elbows up and back while shrugging your traps slightly behind your ears to get a strong squeeze at the top. Now, if you really want to take this to the next level, this is where intensity techniques like Kelso shrugs come in. After your set of rows, once you hit that point where you can't fully retract anymore, don't just stop the set, go straight into Kelso shrugs using the same setup. Just keep your arms relatively straight and focus on only moving your shoulder blades from a stretch into a squeeze. The reason this works so well is because it removes your arms from the movement, allowing your back to keep working even after your arms are fatigued. This lets you push past failure and keeps tension where it actually matters. Combine this with taking your main sets close to failure with good form, and now you're creating a much stronger stimulus for muscle growth without needing a bunch of different exercises. Now, in terms of how to actually program this, keep it simple and focus more on quality over quantity. For your chest supported rows, I'd aim for about 2 to 3 sets in the 6 to 12 rep range, focusing on full control and getting a strong stretch and squeeze on every rep. For your T-bar rows, another 2 to 3 sets in that same 6 to 12 rep range is perfect. And if you're using the cable shrug variation, these you can go slightly higher in reps since they aren't as physically demanding, so I'd stick to about 10 to 15 reps here to really focus on that contraction. Now on your final sets, that's where the Kelso shrugs come into play. Once you reach that point where you can't fully retract anymore, go straight into them and push the set a little further. You can run this setup once or twice per week depending on your current split, and as long as you're progressing the weight over time, giving yourself time to recover and improving your form, you're going to start seeing your back develop. So there you have it. If your goal is to build a thicker back, focus on getting stronger on your main movements, train with intensity, and focus on quality reps over just doing more. And if you want to build a complete back, not just thickness, but also width, I also made a video on the 2 exercises you need for building wider lats. So make sure to check that out next. And if you've been feeling stuck and want a plan built around your goals and your lifestyle that allows you to enjoy the foods you love, I'll leave a link to my 60-second questionnaire in the description. Fill that out and I'll personally reach out to you and see how I can help. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button for me, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace, guys.